We're, we're Sarah and Jess pulling chairs to the table, sharing these stories wild and unstable. Trash talk to tacos, it's how we play. New episodes dropping every Tuesday. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real.
Hi, welcome back to Talking Trash and Tacos, where we dig into culture, society, and messy little truths that nobody wants to talk about. Some people do, because I talk about weird shit all the time. So today we're taking a hard look at something that almost every American has brushed up against: grocery shopping. So specifically, Kroger. Yes, the Kroger giant that claims to care about families and affordability, but if you've been paying attention, Kroger's been accused of some pretty shady business dealings. So the question is, why does this mega corporation get away with scamming thousands of customers daily when smaller business owners are being fined and jailed for way less?
I'll tell you one reason.
Yeah.
Because people like me, do you know, I do not pay attention to receipts when I cash out, ever. I'm shocked by what I'm finding. So, Consumer Reports caught Kroger doing this. They sent mystery shoppers in to 26 Krogers, and these were in 14 states and including Ohio. And they found over 150 expired sales tags, some that were left up for 90 days or more, mind you, and people were paying on average close to 20% more than what the tags were saying. So that's where I know I've lost so much money there. That's like $1.70 extra per item. And lawsuits, they're all over the place. Ohio, Illinois, California, they're class action lawsuits against Kroger because they're deceptive pricing practices. And that's not even everything. They have other issues. And get this, in Belpre, Ohio, a family filed complaints 3 different times to the Ohio Attorney General because they are one of those people that pay attention to everything on their receipt. And every time they would fix it, they would still go back and have the expired tags. So
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
So we're not talking about a little price gouging or a little error here and there. Things like shelf prices not matching at the checkout, misleading sales tags, charging customers for items they didn't buy in a self checkout. I don't know how that happens. I've not noticed that, but that is a really big problem if that's the case. And they're actually quietly shrinking package sizes. This isn't just a Kroger problem.
It benefits Kroger because the smaller packaging, the more you fit, the more you charge. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's not a glitch. This is definitely a strategy. So the everyday customer gets hit, and it's essentially theft in my eyes. It's only dressed up in corporate branding. So,
Right?
yeah, it's so frustrating. Ron used to be a huge couponer. Go figure. Yeah. Like, especially when the kids
Yeah, he'd be the one to catch them being shady.
yes. So we would. And it was extremely frustrating, especially because you don't notice till you're back at the car looking at the receipt, right? So then you got to go back in, process this return, get your money back. And you feel kind of dumb because it's only like $1 or two, but it's just the
It
point.
adds up.
Yeah. And it's like, screw that. You do this to everybody, you're going to make hundreds a day.
And how many people are more like me to where we don't pay attention or check the receipts? Now,
Mhm.
Brian, he probably would catch it every time. Do you remember years ago when Kroger's accidentally sent an email to all the shoppers that had Kroger Plus cards rather than to the employees? And it was where the money you spent was giving you free money towards toys.
Yeah, it was like a Christmas thing.
It was a holiday thing, and all the employees got shafted because they ended up having to honor. I remember getting like $600 of stuff because my mom hooked me up and she knew, and it was running out of stuff. So she's like, you got to go to the Point Place Kroger. That's the only one with stuff left in the cart. So we did take advantage of it. But I mean, that was just one little thing that happened, but that benefited us. Normally, it's not.
Right.
And I have one story where a shopper in Sandusky actually started doing what he called forensic accounting. So he would check all his receipts and he always kept finding overcharges for like the vegan cream cheese, it would ring up higher than the shelf tag. So this wasn't a glitch because of a discount or a sale. It just was straight up charging you more.
Mhm.
And that's scary. So he'd head back and get it fixed. And the crazy part, Kroger admitted in court documents that they are right now they're doing what's called the Albertson merger. And
Mhm.
they admitted to raising prices beyond inflation on purpose. So that's not an accident, that's gouging. And so you know, the Albertson merger is Kroger's trying to buy its biggest competitor. If they pull it off, they'll basically control the grocery game in half the country, which is why the FTC is fighting it in court right now. Which I had no clue about any of this. Of course, I had to learn my stuff. So some of it's quite shocking, though.
It is. So, to put it into perspective, if a small business owner tried these tricks, overcharging every customer by even $1, mislabeling sales, or running deceptive promos, they'd get nailed for fraud and fined into practically bankruptcy. So,
Yeah.
you know, and some people even face jail time for this kind of stuff. So, the people have been prosecuted before for food stamp fraud. Like you hear that. Like remember back in the day, people may be trying to I'll give you my food stamps for some Pampas. Okay, if you didn't live in low income housing, maybe you've never heard that, but I did.
I still see it on my Facebook. People trying to sell their food stamps in some of these like community groups, and then people will be like, "You're gonna get in trouble. I reported you." It's like
Yeah, well, as they should be.
they obviously are desperate to make some money because you can get in big trouble and lose your benefits. It's not worth it
Yep.
unless you're
So
selling them to
people
your mom. No, I'm just
for
kidding.
sure get prosecuted for this.
Yeah.
So, and that's just a few $100, but Kroger, they rake in billions by nickel and diming the everyday shopper. And somehow it's
Yes.
just like business as usual, no ramifications. That's so weird to me.
Yeah. No, I think it's crazy. And did you know they make 150 billion to let you know? That's what they made last year in revenue. And they settled multiple lawsuits. So what? It's like nothing. So they have a 23.5 million pharmacy fraud, which I looked into that. They were basically hooking people up, it sounded like, though. They were making fake like ways to get coupons. I don't know, but they're always offering coupons. I didn't
That's
look
true.
into it enough to talk about it, obviously. But so that fraud settlement did nothing. 23.5 million, that's nothing. But a mom and pop shop, what do you think that would do to like, individual independent business here? It would like completely
It would
destroy.
bankrupt them, they said. They'd be closing shop. I mean, if they don't have the cash flow, they're not making it through any kind of court proceedings, getting a attorney. Like when I have to pay an attorney for an eviction for a tenant, that's not fun and it's not cheap. So
Yeah. And
it's
let's not forget the loyalty card system, which is probably not even real discounts, let's be honest. Half the discounts are digital only, which means if you're a senior or don't have a cell phone, you're basically locked out of those deals and screwed. So,
yeah,
if you ask me, that's discrimination.
it very
Don't
well
you
could
think?
be.
I
Yeah,
mean,
well, discriminating against people with
digital
social.
only. That's like, oh, get a phone. They should offer free phones that you could shop around with for like a system, an app
Yeah,
that overrides for the elderly, but they're not
that's
going
a
to know how
thought.
to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Reminds me of my father-in-law.
So
He
you're
doesn't
going to
have a
need a
cell
whole
phone.
team of experts to help them.
Yeah, exactly.
A
They'll
senior
take
help desk.
all their profits will go down the drain, Sarah.
Right.
So this is where the doubled standard comes in. So white collar crime is already treated with kid gloves compared to street level crime. So say a kid is stealing $50 worth of groceries, say because they're hungry or even just because they're jerks, whatever, they're facing charges for that. So
Right.
a corporation stealing millions from customers by manipulating pricing structures. That's inflation adjustments or technical errors. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think
And
so.
here in Toledo, this we've seen it play out actually. Our own Kroger stores have been flagged and in trouble, and I know myself, I've seen people post it all over the place about getting ripped off. My dad actually posted one recently. And what happens? We walk out with something and you get cuffed for it. Maybe they added up, but there's even people that are so petty that maybe somebody not petty, you shouldn't steal, but they walk out with $5. They're just waiting for you to keep coming in. So they hit, what is it, $100 threshold, and that's when they report you or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about them
There-
knowing you steal and letting you get away with it for so long. That is one way they could get you, though. Do you know how many times I've been there in the self checkout where the person, there was a tag for 300 and something dollars once. Do you know what that means? That means the lady walked out without paying through the self checkout 300 and something dollars worth of groceries she took the time to scan in and just fill her cart while they were busy and walk out the door. Now they'll
That's insane.
eventually catch her, but how do you know they're not out of town doing this? You could go
Right.
all over. I mean, they might talk, but there's ways to get away. But it was insane to see that limit. And the lady's like, she just walked away. And is the employee in trouble for that? Who knows?
No, I don't really think so, because I think you're not allowed to chase them out. Like if there's a guard or a police officer, that's another story. But
Yeah.
employees of the stores are not allowed to like
And I get,
follow them.
right. And I get the fact of that hurting the store and raising the prices. That really sucks.
Right.
Not right. But that doesn't mean, I feel like some of these things are done to not make it known they're hitting us back for the theft that they're getting, which is not
Oh, yeah.
fair.
Well, yeah. It's multifaceted for sure. So, this is the same system that put CEOs like Elizabeth Holmes on trial for fraud, but Kroger and other retail giants who literally touch millions of consumers on a daily basis get away with practices that would land anyone else in jail. So, what's the difference? Scale, power, and lobbyists. Kroger's too big to be held accountable. They can settle lawsuits, pay fines, and keep doing business. There's no executive that goes to jail. It's rare that you hear this unless they're like siphoning tons of large amounts, is when they get in trouble. But this small little nitpicking, no one cares. No one takes responsibility for it. They just kind of just tell them, oh, shouldn't do that.
Yep. And the CEO, his name was Rodney McMullen. In my research, I seen that he resigned this year after an ethics investigation. But notice he didn't get criminal charges, no jail time. You don't see him getting chatted about.
No, I've never heard that name before.
No. You found the Perrysburg guy? No. Yeah, my old coworker reached out and said, "Hey, Sarah, that guy you posted, I worked for him for 10 years.
That's insane. What'd she say?
He had
Was
no
he a nice
clue. He said
was
he
she
had
a nice
no clue.
person?
We didn't really get into that because we got sidetracked. But now
Oh,
he's at U of M. Maybe you'll see him. It's
it's
great
so
work.
crazy to me how you can get in trouble for stealing money from a company and then go work for U of M. What?
No. The guy that knew him, he worked with him for 10 years and had no clue any of that was happening. He was
Okay.
shocked, but he obviously knows now. But for the last 10 years, he's like, I haven't been there in over 10 years. He works now for U of M.
The guy you know.
Yeah. The guy
Okay.
that wrote me, and I was like, I haven't even seen this article. It must have been my co-podcaster, Jess.
You're like, she comes up with all this weird stuff.
No, I said, she's keeping us afloat, literally. I was like, I haven't had time to do anything, but it's always great stuff. Very informative, but it takes me a second to get to it because I'm busy like every day of my life. But yeah,
You
I
are.
went and seen it and it was crazy. I was like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was a little shocked. And I was kind of
You
sad
hit it
for him
well, I
too.
guess.
I
So,
had to go hunt down his LinkedIn to find a picture of him. And I was like, damn, if I was stealing money from these companies, I would 100% for sure start taking down my social media stuff and hiding my
right,
face. So kudos to him for just still being out there.
right.
Make
Yeah.
mistakes, move forward. He's a different person, maybe. Gosh. So here's the part that makes me the most mad about what's going on with Kroger. So these aren't victimless crimes because we're talking about working families. Like, we cannot afford to go to the grocery store the way we used to. Like, we go maybe once a month, maybe twice, and we don't fill up the way we used to. I mean, can you imagine if we still had young kids in the house, the money we'd be spending right now?
No.
It
I,
would be absurd.
we go only when we want something now, really. But it turns into like a $60 trip for a little one stop few day thing. I mean,
Mhm.
and not to mention the non food items
Yeah, you
being
say
that,
60. Ron and I were just griping about every time we go, we have maybe like 10 things or less, and it's always $100 or more. Inevitable.
see, I might not even have 10 things, and my monsters might be in there on occasion.
Well, those are kind of pricey, actually.
Yeah, they are, unless they're on sale, which
So
probably never rings up right, and I don't check it.
it's
Now
probably
I'm
very
checking
true.
everything. I'm checking everything.
Well, good luck because it is time consuming. So you're thinking, a few bucks skimmed here and there, a few fake discounts, those add up. It's not just groceries. That money that they're stealing from people, it can be people's rent, utilities, gas money. So while the CEO is over there cashing his bonus checks and customers are just sitting there like sitting ducks getting robbed by Kroger's. I think that might be a little
Legally,
dramatic, but it
yeah,
is. And it's very frustrating because you don't want to go back and ask someone, hey, this receipt's messed up. I'd like my $3. But
right. And
it's just the
sometimes
point.
it's too much of a hassle. I mean, there's a lot that could happen
Yeah.
that you're not getting that money
So
back.
imagine that every single day. I can't even fathom how many customers come into Kroger every single day. And if they steal $1.50 from every person that day, I mean, that's probably paying a few employees like their daily wage at least.
Right. And here's another thing that another way they basically rob people in a way. So last week, my parents were all excited about this turkey breast sale, and they had it advertised Friday, Saturday, 99 cents a pound for 2 days only. The ad said it. But then they went Friday, grabbed the turkey, get in line to check out, and it was basically like an $8 difference in price. So not cheap. I mean, if you
Right.
accidentally pay regular price if you don't pay attention. So then they're like, no, the sale doesn't start till Saturday. So then my mom and dad are like, okay, Saturday's here. Let's call and make sure they got them and we're good. And they said they didn't get the turkeys in Saturday. So then, okay, my mom said, then I'll call back Sunday. And Sunday, they also didn't get the turkeys in. But they had, like, what did they have special sale turkeys? I didn't understand that because they could have bought the turkey on Friday. They said there was no special. I don't know.
Right.
But
So that
either
means
way,
people were accidentally buying it at full price and not caring, like your
thinking,
parents were looking.
yeah. So basically, that's another way of basic robbery, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, you go there for that item. What happens? You pick up other things. So
That
it's
is
all a
true.
scam. Even where they place the items on the shelf is
They do a
scam.
lot of research to figure out how
And it
best.
changes. So what makes it change over the years? Is it because people are changing? Because you notice the tampons used to be here, now they're over there. Everything's
Yeah,
changing.
I just think maybe they come up with better ways to group the items. Maybe they think about people's mindsets as they walk into the store. What are they first most likely to buy? And then what's an afterthought? I don't know. There's a lot of strategy that goes into that. It's insane.
It is
Like, weren't you the one telling me that like Lindsay helped create like a VR program for something like that?
training of where
Yeah.
to place the produce. Yeah. And
See,
be like, Fred, you're fired. You put the Lay's potato chips in the wrong spot, buddy.
yeah. So they spend a lot of money trying to figure that out. And that's probably why they're gouging us.
I
It's
always
another
wanted to
reason.
be a secret shopper. I've got almost close to where I could be one, like to go shop on like maybe not dental eye companies or big
Yeah.
ones.
I've
I never
tried to sign up. I mean,
I don't like
that would be like
driving.
the ultimate job.
I could have. I just don't like driving. So
Yeah.
that
And
was
so
a
what
long time ago.
that would be amazing. And also what you were just describing with the turkey, some
Yeah.
people call that phantom inventory. It's running a flashy sale, but never planning to stock enough. Kind of like Black Friday sales, how people are fighting, you're creating a supply and demand, getting people in. So that it's the same playbook for Consumer Reports. They exposed when they found expired sale tags left up for more than 90 days. So most shoppers don't notice and they end up just paying. Like you said, they don't check. So
I wonder how much I've lost if I added it all up, including the $100 I left in the cashback machine. I wonder how much money I've lost at Kroger not paying attention.
yeah.
And how much does our Kroger thing really save us, our discount card?
Well, it tells you at the bottom of your receipt every time. That I do check. I love
But
that.
is it really saving us, or did they
Accurate? Yeah.
inflate the prices and then put them on sale?
And that very well could be too. You're right. It all
I
could
mean,
be a
every once in a
ploy.
while you gotta have an amazing sale, but like the pops, things like that. But I don't.
Yeah, I like it when I get free peanut butter. They give you like one free coupon for something that's inexpensive, and that makes me happy. Sometimes I go just to get the free items because I get
I
my
keep
groceries
getting
delivered.
Scott's coupons. He eats a lot healthier than me.
Scott?
Yeah, well, he used to live here a long time ago.
Oh, that's good.
And he must not have changed his address with Kroger, so I get all his free and his hookup
Healthy
coupons.
food. I like it.
And I don't
like
even use
yeah.
any of our coupons. I'm an idiot. The free
Oh, I love
ones,
our coupons. We actually
never
do.
use them. I need to go to school on couponing.
Yeah, it's very important. So
Brian can just do the shopping. He pays attention to prices and coupons.
So the real question here is, why isn't Kroger being held accountable? Why are everyday folks criminalized for survival while corporations normalize theft as part of their business model? So if you're going to jail small business owners and fine individuals for fraud, same rules should apply for billion-dollar companies. 100%. That is accurate. Everyone
Yeah,
should be held accountable.
that is absolutely true.
So instead of orange jumpsuits, they'll just cut a check and call it a settlement and keep cashing in. So Kroger, you're going to be editing whether you like it or not. Kroger wants to tell us we're saving money with these loyalty cards, but the truth is, loyalty is a one-way street. They want ours, but we'll never see theirs. So if
True.
we don't start holding these corporations to the same standards as individuals, these scams will never end, because to them, the fines aren't punishment. They're just the cost of doing business.
Nobody's in their eyes. Kroger just treats fines like we treat the Kroger Plus points. Just another discount program. Only difference is their rewards are given to the CEOs.
That's true. And with that, we'll leave you with this thought. Maybe the real shoplifters aren't the ones caught on the security cameras. Maybe they're the ones cashing corporate paychecks. You know, we just appreciate you tuning in and listening to us talk a little bit and bash
Yes.
Kroger. Because I do love Kroger. They screw me
I'll
over.
be there tomorrow.
See you, Kroger.
We're Sarah and Jess pulling chairs to the table, sharing these stories wild and unstable. Trash talk to tacos, it's how we play. New episodes dropping every Tuesday. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real. Heartfelt, bizarre, the chaos we feel. From late night debates to pondering why. We're your best friends on a podcast. Hi. Casual chatter like friends in a room, bright as the sun and loud as the moon. No subject sacred, no thought too small. We're chewing on life, answering its call. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real. Heartfelt, bizarre, the chaos we feel. From late night debates to pondering why. We're your best friends on a podcast. Hi. From top shelf wisdom to jokes down below, we've got a rhythm that'll steal the show. Hold your coffee, spill your tea, talking trash as tacos in glee. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real.